Hey guys, so today's clip is going to be about how to pot on basically plants, vegetables and so on. I already showed you a clip about how to sow seeds, so what we're going to do now is we're going to transfer the seeds from what is known as modules, little kind of mini pots so to speak, to bigger pots, and I'm going to show you a few tricks and tips as well, you know. So we're going to do some brassicas today and we're going to do some pumpkins as well today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these nice big fellas here, these are pumpkins, and I'm going to basically plant them into a much larger pot because this is really for the root systems to kind of develop, and what I'm really into is growing nice big vegetables because I feel a bit, you know, it's a bit of a waste of time if you kind of grow smaller vegetables or not you know such good crops. You're still going to put in the same amount of work. Whereas if you just, you know, give it a bit more attention and put in the right things and make the soil nice and loose, then you're going to get really wonderful crops, and that's what it's all about, I think. So as well, the plan is going to be as well to teach a few more clips soon on beekeeping as well. So another thing I want to teach you guys as well is how to actually prepare your beds, your vegetable beds, how to go about it, especially the natural way of preparing your beds, the kind of, you know, how to get to a no-dig kind of state eventually, which is kind of really easy. It's very painless kind of way of gardening, and you know, and it's good for nature. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a whole bag, or most of it anyway, into this container, and that's for my pumpkins. Now be careful when you're lifting a bag such as this because they're quite heavy, because they're usually filled with water or something like that, you know? Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a hole in the compost there, and the way to do it is you basically get your fingers under the leaves like that, and you very gently turn them upside down, because remember now the roots are quite loose in this. You can see the roots there. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to make sure that this pumpkin has plenty of room to grow, and it's okay if it falls apart a bit. It's kind of a good sign, because if it's kind of root bound, it's a bit too late already, you know. I mean, you still can do it anyway, but. And I have a nice mount here as well. And what I'm going to do is with this now, I'm going to basically plant this fella out in about 2 months' time into its permanent bed, and then I'll basically end up with really big pumpkins, because I've given this pumpkin here all that it needs, you know. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some of these pots here, and what we want to do is we're going to take some of these wonderful looking brassicas, they're a type of cabbage, and we're going to transplant them into this pot. So the next step is, you can see now I have this big pile of soil here, and I'll give you a nice little tip here now, and this will save you lots of money. You just take ordinary garden soil and you start half filling it with soil. And the reason you're doing that is you're kind of acclimatizing your vegetables to the soil outside, and I tell you now, this really grows amazing vegetables, especially the Brassica family really like this, you know. Yeah, so I have my pots half filled, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this organically certified compost. Now make sure it's organically certified, because a lot of them say organic on them, but that just means it's organic matter, which is kind of deceiving, so just be wary of that. So as you can see now, this is really going to save quite a bit of money, because garden soil most of the time is quite free, and I just put it in loosely because you don't want it compacted or anything like that. Okay, so then I just make a little hole. What I do is I just push it out a little bit and gently grab it by the stem. You can see the roots there. Very gently push them in there, and then what I can do as well is I can cover it all the way up to the top, and kind of cover it all the way up to the first leaf, because the brassica will actually send out side shoots anyway. And this little guy now is going to grow quite large in this pot. Now the bigger the pot you give it, the bigger it's going to grow. As soon as you have kind of roots coming out of the bottom, you might want to think about you know, putting them outside, maybe in a permanent bed or something like that. Also make sure you put a little brassica collar around them because of the cabbage whitefly as well. So just to show you basically how many pots I managed to fill by just using this method. I just used a 56 litre bag, so you can just see, like, I really saved a lot of money on just the brassicas there. When you're potting on, you can basically do this with kind of any vegetable family, or any vegetable except the carrot family, or any kind of you know, plants that send out kind of tap roots. That's why you wouldn't plant carrots into modules or pots. What you would do is you'd basically plant them outside. So just to show you what actually a brassica collar looks like around the plant, if you can see it there, it's basically surrounding the stem there, and that really prevents any kind of the little worms going down and eating all the roots. And here's basically one, just to show you. It's got a kind of a cross cut into it. And preventative methods like these are really fantastic, because once you have this little worm there burrowing, it's basically a fly that lays its eggs on top of the soil, but this kind of prevents the, you know, when they hatch, from digging down into your plants, you know, and eating the roots. But once you have it, it's fairly hard to get rid of. So prevention is better than cure, you know. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the clip, and if you have any questions, as usual, just feel free to ask, okay? See you next week.